Oh, of course. I'm an idiot. Let's go back to the starting screen. I started right as it's getting ready for the server to reset. Why? Why? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's give it a sec. Try that again. Am I still set as live? I still am. Okay, good. There we go. Thank you so much for that follow, Purry Purry. Welcome. Hey there. So, it's been a week, a particularly interesting week. So, I decided that pretty much what I have the mental capacity for today is to work on a bit of our excessive excavation, which honestly, by Titancraft standards, is not excessive. It is in fact quite small. It does not qualify as a perimeter at the Freshers Club. But I thought that friends from Greenhouse Land would appreciate the callback to Stina's excessive excavation. This looks really dark. It is really dark. That's probably where that creeper came from the other day. I've been tending to do this chunk by chunk. I don't know why I bother having light overlay on. Oh, even more dark over here. Great. I mean, all that's about to go away, but I tend to overlight anyway. So I'm not sure why I bother having that on. Let's get rid of it for now. I don't hear game sounds. Hold on a sec. So yeah, the music's up, but blocks at least up to 50%. That's a little more like it. Okay. I will keep the chunk borders up because, as I learned from Stina's Big Dig, it is, for some, not for everyone, much more psychologically rewarding to get a whole chunk down as deep as you're going. And when I say this does not count as excessive by Titancraft standards, I mean not only is it not a full perimeter, we're only going down to Y0. Thank goodness for small favors. Like Stina, I am filling up when I accidentally take out some of the stuff along the side of, like this I won't, I'll just light it up, it's too much. But I wasn't doing that before, and then I was getting drop creepers because I would have a too tall 0 lit area. How about I try F11 so that actually fills the screen? There we go, that's a little better. Unfortunately, I do still end up dropping some blocks. I try to make sure I'm not, because then that's entities adding to potential lag. And I was so ready to jump in, I didn't grab any shulkers. Also, I don't have my party popper in my hand. I have yet to use one this season, by the way. But It does seem like a good precaution when you're digging something that may suddenly go out from under you, and I do have a wonderful record of spleefing myself. Not here, but just in general. Also, yeah, wow, I'm scatterbrained this morning. I didn't even say, although you can probably kind of tell by the logo, that this is the Titancraft server, the Tango Tech Patreon SMP. I've streamed from here once before. And I did mention that those of us who it's our first year on Titancraft, several of us on day one decided let's stick together and have a freshers club. And actually it was Grimburb who kind of formally set us up and got us set with spreadsheets and everything to be all nice and organized. Go. And you know what started with like 12 people is now I think 70. And not everybody is firsty, so to speak. But so the ones who have been here for more than just starting this season, we call the RAs, the ones meant to tell us when we're messing up. Oh, come on. I didn't want to go that far down either. Oh, I did. Usually, I can manage to keep it to 3 deep. It's easier to make sure I catch all the blocks that way. But occasionally I do like this and end up down 4, which it's easier to miss some. See, this is the place I would probably be likely to spleef myself. If I weren't crouching, which I totally always am. There is something really satisfying about, let's add another one there because we've gone too far in to bother filling that up, but it is past the chunk border. I also often try to put some of the lighting up along the sides so I'm not forever picking up and replacing. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, that means when I take this chunk down, that's just gonna fall. So, no, bad plan. But I do try to avoid creating situations where there'll be airdrop creepers. Not as bad as airdrop ravagers, to be fair, but still not fun. Even though, since the point is we're digging, I guess it's not that big of a deal to have random explosions, but they're startling. I don't like them. And I have had a couple of times where, you know, as happens when you're doing this sort of thing, you discover there's a 2x2, 2x1x1 hole that has been at light level 0, and there is a creeper in there waiting for you. So that's fun. I do also acknowledge this is not the most riveting content ever. So, like I said, I figured this is where I'd start because brain doesn't really want to brain after the way this week has gone. But I might move on to going out to my base and doing some cave lighting, which is a thing I also really need to do. And I'm a scaredy cat, so I don't really feel like doing it by myself. But doing it on stream is not doing it by myself, right? Because there's a few of you here. So that's totally less scary. And potentially more interesting because who knows what you're going to run into. I've lit up the surface caves on my base, but I have not dug down. And I, if it turns out that there's deep dark under there, there shouldn't be Ancient City because it's not mountains. But if there's deep dark, I will end up needing in-person help because I don't do wardens. Oh, yep. Right, and this is why you bring shulkers. No. Go. Okay. Let's get rid of the ores. Copper, iron, coal. And are there still some empties in here? Yes. I generally like to have, well, actually, I was doing 5 for a while. I switched to 6 because of deep slate, but I'm not going to hit deep slate for a while. So I may just take down this one chunk and then go to my base. I have a feeling that's probably going to be the thing that makes the most sense. And on the way, pick up my daily dose of various supplies. Some of which it's like at the point where it's more so that if somebody else needs them, I have them. I might even consider making up some welcome baskets like I used to do on Greenhouse. For some reason never got around to doing this season. Just to have over at spawn. Probably also check my mailbox. I doubt there's anything in it, but I keep forgetting I have one. Which is a good way to miss stuff. Okay. Again, don't want anything spawning in here once I'm no longer shedding light from being up here. Okay. Nope. Okay, well, now we need one of these up there. Yep. And we're gonna have to do something about this. Which is a really great recipe for spleefage. Okay. We are in a lush cave, so yeah, we run into a fair bit of things like drip leaf and how's the lighting down here? Actually better than I thought. Okay, good. Yeah, still not that great at flying. Hello, Pillar. Welcome. My stream title is probably a bit misleading because by neither Titancraft standards nor AlphaCraft standards or Tina Rose standards is this an excessive excavation, but it is a lot of diggy hole, so I could not help myself. And I am using not quite the same method that Stina and Aletha used for that big dig, but I am doing the one chunk at a time approach. Because it definitely is more satisfying to see that you've gotten that bit down to whatever Y level you're going for. And also when I was deciding what the heck I was going to do this morning, I determined that since my brain doesn't want to brain, I would stick with something that doesn't require a whole lot of braining. Okay. So shulker system includes putting ores in their own shulker. Dirt, moss, gravel, that sort of stuff gets its own shulker, and the ites get their own shulker. And I usually end up with 2 shulkers of stone, and then not full shulkers of everything else. Okay. Torch should cover that. This is not my base. This is the Freshers Club, and the Big Dig, again, not Big Dig by Titancraft standards because it's not a perimeter, is for the project of one of the Freshers who has designed this sort of amazing, I don't even know how to describe it, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's something that we're all going to help with, because while he has designed it, it is definitely not a one-person job. But first, it just needs the space to be built. I probably should have my hoe on my hotbar instead of my axe. The amount of moss I'm running into. Maybe after I do my next drop off of materials, I'll switcheroo. So how are you all doing today? And also, Pillar in particular, since you've heard me on stream before, how is the sound? I have changed how my microphone is physically set up. I finally got a thing to hold it. There we go. So it's not meant to make the sound better necessarily as to free up space on my desktop. It's going to be very interesting figuring out how I deal with this in things like Zoom meetings, because I already get the interesting comments about the fact that I use a headset, which I was already doing long before I was streaming, simply because I don't do well with the in-ear earbuds. I find them really irritating, the way some people find the over-ear headphones really irritating. Although they are at least less obtrusive. Oh. Get back here. Bet those vines don't quite go there. That would be handy. Get back here. Okay. Still a little quiet. Huh, okay. That I can probably fix on the mixer. Let me jump over here. I'm already pretty high up on the mixer. Let's max it and turn desktop audio back a little. Is that any better? It's funny because I don't think of myself as quiet IRL, but somehow I seem to be once I get in front of a microphone. Which is something I should bear in mind. I have a panel thing I'm doing at work this week that I'm slightly terrified about. Because I don't actually think I was the best choice for the panel, but apparently I was the volunteer who was standing still long enough not to avoid being volunteered. Which isn't entirely fair. I did say I would help if there wasn't anybody else available, but that I just did not think I was the best person for this particular panel. But as a result, I am extra nervous. Okay, let's get rid of some of this so I can get down there and get those. I do love haste to mining. Okay, well, I wasn't trying to catch that so much as these, but I don't even have room for those. Fun. Okay, that's ites. That's empty. Where's dirt, etc.? Was that even dirt or was that granite? That is dirt. Okay. I put clay in with dirt. Generally. Grab that. Okay, now this is going to be fun, and this is going to require chasing blocks that fall because of the very nature of how this is set up. Ads again? Already? That is better. Okay, good to know. What? Oh, all right, I should have dumped some other stuff. Dirt. Granite. Stone. Moss in with dirt, and I guess we'll throw the glowberries in with that. And this one must be the one for ores. Nope, gravel goes in with dirt. Get over here. Well, good. At least I've managed to get it so that I'm more audible on here. It'll be interesting for this panel. The university is not always super great at how they mic people, which is bizarre considering we have a communications program, a performing arts program, and all sorts of things where even like students should probably know how to do this stuff. Never mind the folks whose job it is, but I guess part of it is just that it is such an old um, set of buildings that maybe just miking the stuff is appropriately is harder. But point being, nervous as I am, I don't want to be talking so softly I'm not heard. Okay, did I get them all? I've got 5. Yep. Okay. Get back down to here. I did see, Pillar, that you've given us a little more guidance for helping on that other project. So I need to be able to brain a little better to be any help, but I will be popping over to help with that a bit as well. Possibly even tomorrow, because I thought I had to be on campus for something else tomorrow, and then schedules got changed. So who knows? Maybe this will be a 2-stream weekend, 2 gaming stream week, for that matter, as opposed to having the 2 writing and only 1 gaming. All right. This is really my favorite song on this playlist, as ridiculous as it is. Get there. There we go. Oh, I am not going to get all this, am I? Nope. All right, I'll have to go down for that in a moment. Oh, I keep forgetting about Minecon Live, to be honest. I should check the time of that, because there is 0 point to streaming opposite that. But what I might end up doing in that case is working on the project while having it on, because that is typically what I end up doing with most streams anyway, is I'm usually working on something else that just could use a little background, and the stream serves as background. At least most of the stuff is getting caught at this level. Jumping around a drip leaf area, shocking enough that I end up landing on a drip leaf. Dropped. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to lie down after those in a minute. I was being organized, I think, at one point. There was a plan and a system to this, and now it all feels like chaos. Which I suppose this is the perfect soundtrack for. Although, as I think I've mentioned once or twice, I find that I find it amusing that this is called Hoglin Parade, and like one of the only sounds not in it is anything to do with a Hoglin or even the Nether. We just have, screams and creepers. All right, let me go down here and see what has. Stop it. Our light levels down here. That doesn't look like enough. And yet it is. Yep. Okay. Fine. So the only thing that should be coming up down there is slime, and there will be slime. Also need to. Well, I guess that moss I can deal with from that side, or somebody can deal with from that side. It doesn't have to be me. I'm not the only one digging here. I just happen to be the only one digging here right now. We've all been taking turns. Not on any sort of schedule, but I try to do at least a chunk each time I log in. Depending on the day, might end up being multiple chunks. Got a little further to go to the edge of this chunk. There we go. And now we're at the edge here. And that I actually am going to fill. That's the empty one. That's the ice. Get over here. That's the clay and moss. Dirt. Don't think I have andesite yet. Just saw some gravel. And we got some more right here. Still haven't found the stone one. Ores and stone. The downside to this approach is that you do end up keeping. Wait a minute. I do not need 2 ice boxes. Ores. There we go. And dirt et al. There. What was I saying? Oh, when you're doing a layer at a time over a large swath, you can set down your shulkers at one end, say, and just refill them when you get to each side. Doing it this way, that doesn't really work because you keep changing Y level so quickly. So I do end up wasting some inventory space on the shulkers. But again, I just find it more psychologically satisfying to dig all the way down to Y0 on each. No, I did not want to put that with. There we go. Bleh, words. Words are hard. Okay. 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm just finally seeing. Wow, let me change the angle I have the phone at so I can actually see chat a little better. I don't know why it's not working as well in its usual orientation today, but it's not, so we'll fix it. 1 Eastern. So that would be after I would be streaming anyway. So I would probably do a 10 o'clock again. That does also probably mean I won't catch most of it because I do have another thing at 2:30 Eastern that I thought I wasn't going to be able to do because of having to go to work, and now that I don't have to go to work, I can do that other thing, which I should actually probably change my RSVP for that now that I'm thinking about it. Let's shed a little light on the subject over here. Okay, now we're getting some andesite. And I know I usually do the whole torch thing for gravel, but this project, I think, I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen the materials list. I'm not even sure if the person who's designing this has posted one, but it looks from the concept art I've seen like it's something that's probably going to use a fair bit of concrete. So I don't want to risk wasting gravel by turning it into flint using the torch method. And honestly, even if that's not the case, I still have reached the point that I don't like to waste gravel. We share resources in the Fresher Club, so if this project doesn't need concrete, some other project will. All right. Let's get this down, and then we'll chase down stray blocks. As we are now getting to have quite a few stray blocks again. Good, let's ditch ores. That's moss block. Why did I think that looked like lapis? I don't know. Old eyes getting older. Let's take down the rest of this. And what have we got all over the place down here? We got a bat, so something's dark. Yeah, it's dark down there. Oh, and there's deep dark down here. I mean, I knew there was deep dark under here somewhere. Far as I know, it's all defanged, but we did have one unexpected warden visit in the Fresher Club a while back. So that's fun. Okay. Point was to come down here and get the stuff that's been falling. It looks like that's about it. Okay. Now, I don't think any of that was ores. Definitely. Some of it was clay. No dirt, but gravel. And moss. And I guess drip leaf might as well go in there too. And ites were where? Last box I opened, of course. Hello, Yada. Hi, there's definitely a shrieker, but not in the dig perimeter. That's not as reassuring as you might think. Below 0 is fine. Is it below -20? That's... My main concern is getting hit with the blindness effect. That is an absolute nope for me. Because while it's less of a problem with, I do have the accessibility set so that the pulsating is off. Basically, it's as low as it can go anyway. And that definitely decreases the impact it has on me. I still don't particularly want to deal with it. Or to go into too much detail on stream. But let's just say I learned the hard way. Oh, that's a nice little place that stuff could have been spawning. Yay. Opening into more places stuff could spawn. Okay. Bring wool. I should probably make sure I have wool. Maybe I'll swing by the wool farm after I do my next materials drop off. I mean, I'm high enough now. I'm at Y45. Oh, and I have replay on. Why do I have replay on? Like, I have utterly failed to make a single actual episode from this server. I've mentioned before, I've recorded and even edited and uploaded episode 1 multiple times, and at this point it's never gonna happen. There's no point in going backwards like that. There will just be the VODs from the streams, because of a weird combination of I'm becoming more of a perfectionist about how I want things to be edited, and I have no time to do even the level of editing that I am accustomed to doing. How often is that one going? I thought I had that set for every 15. That looks more frequent. Which isn't bad, but just surprising. Or maybe time is just flying faster than I realize. Also a possibility. What's funny is I wouldn't even know what the distance was for the darkness effect if not for decked out. And hearing all the hermits say, okay, well, so this thing is within 20 blocks of me because I'm getting that effect. Oh, okay, good. Now I know what that range is, and that's the distance I need to make sure I keep. Because in my case, my nope stuff about the warden really, I don't care about the warden. I don't care about a mob that can one-shot me. Fine, go for it. Whatever. It's just that effect is no bueno. Looks like this whole ledge can just go, and then I can light this up. Down here and get everything that has fallen again. Okay. Hate blowing a rocket on such a short flight. It's at negative 19, so close but not completely out of range. I very much appreciate that you have covered it up, Yada. Thank you. No. So Hunter, there is nothing excessive about this excavation, especially in Titancraft standards. There's another server I play on where the owner had done, the server owner had done something that she referred to as the excessive excavation, which is an excessive excavation by Titancraft standards. And most of the folks that I expected would show up to watch are folks I play with on that server. Although I should have realized that, of course, I would get quite a few from here. So maybe I should not have used that title. But yeah, so in joke, wrong audience, I guess. You'd never plan to do anything excessive and then mildly regret your life choices. You're fully committed. Yay. And I mean, I'm grateful to have things like this that people need help with, to be honest, because on days like today when I am really having difficulty braining, something where it's literally just diggy diggy hole is perfect. I can do it, I can chat, or, you know, when it's not a streaming day, just pop on, do some stuff, and not attempt to be verbal at all, and just dig out a chunk, and it's relaxing. As much as I enjoy building, I really am much more the miner grinder type. You're gonna sort players into types. Gravel, dirt. Pretty detrackified. Awesome. Thank you for checking. I'm happy to go into more detail off stream about why I have such an issue with that darkness effect, but prefer not to on stream. Hello there. You need to die. Thanks. And well, before I empty out my inventory entirely, let's figure out where you were. Oh, it's just a one. Yeah, see, I hate those. I really would have thought that was well lit enough. There might be something up higher that he dropped down from. Okay, let's pick that stuff up. Okay, let's see if I can get the rest of this cleared before I dump everything into the shulkers. Okay. Heights. Probably some andesite in here somewhere, but I'll find that out after I get rid of the stone. Yep. Gravel can go in with that stuff. And then we got ores. So much for sticking within a chunk, but you know, Minecraft generation is what it is, so I'm doing 2 half chunks at the moment. Oh, goody. And this pick is getting low. Well, low. I don't like anything to be out of the green. But I am getting better at not insisting on mending things the second they get out of the green. Because then I would be doing nothing but mending. I think that is probably what the... Hello? A ding in my ear. Hello, Trey the Nerd. Welcome. Oh no, I know it's not. I know you don't care if it's chunk by chunk. I find it more satisfying to go chunk by chunk, but you know, Minecraft generation doesn't always work that way. Whereas I know some folks prefer to do a much wider swath layer by layer. It's, you know, it's whatever makes it feel like you've gotten more done. Also, it does make a useful way to just set a goal is yes, I will get one chunk down to 0. I have a feeling I will be getting a bit more than that. What are you? Hi. I say, holding the Smite 5 axe. You still got particles here. Yes, I know. It is a very Yada thing to do. It's also a very Hunter thing to do, if I recall. Although that was with, like dragon heads. It is so funny just watching the particles as you're running around. Can I just say? All right. I'm getting way far afield, and I'm going to end up very annoyed with myself. Let's get back over to the chunks I was focusing on. Where did particles go? Okay. Well, that's silly. Come on. Okay. Okay, time to dump the pockets again. That's almost full. That's usually my drop-off point, is when both stone shulkers end up completely full. So yeah, I'm just about there. Let's clear just about everything else out. Ores. And where's this one? Gravel could go in there. Got all 5. All right. Now, there are multiple storage spots that are set up around here to keep it easy. Why would I make use of all of them? I just keep going back to the same one I started with, even though I am now way over there. Okay. Stone there. All right, where are my two that are completely full of stone? That one and that one. Perfect. They can go in here. So, for that matter, can this one. Ores can get sorted. Copper, iron, coal. Lapis. Yep. Ites. This is about ready to go. I think this one's got the ites, right? Yep. Nope. Wrong one. Andesite. And granite. You tried to be helpful and nobody wants up. I mean, we're just creatures of habit, I guess. All right. Clay, dirt, and gravel have their own thing. The moss stuff does not. And that's full. I didn't need to pick up both of those. All right, I think. Is this the one with dirt? Yep. Okay. And all the fun mossy stuff up there. Okay, and time to switch out picks. And yes, Pillar, I have totally named my picks things like Silk Pick 2.0 because, again, how could I not? Cena has me well trained. I might not even need a rocket to get over there. Far enough down at this point, I think. Yeah, that works. We have a little more light over here, maybe? Need light here, but I'd also like to just stick one there. There we go. Oh, right. I had forgotten that I have that set to the 10-minute Wait, that was a recommended setting? And I'm not sure how really necessary it is for a tiny channel like this. But hello and welcome. It is going well, thank you. How about you? Let's get all this stuff over here and then we'll deal with that ledge. Fun. Is that one of the rat holes I keep hearing about? No, it doesn't look like it goes far enough to be one. Come on. Oh, I missed some hole. Okay. Da, 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 da. So, going well for you was just working on your Tajik handwriting. That is not a style or a language. I'm not sure which. Because I'm not familiar. Please tell me more, because I'm curious. I am very fascinated by languages in general and different styles of writing in particular. Let's see. Let's move that over there and start taking this part down. Really? Already? Okay. Come on. Scroll in the correct direction, self. That is not even a little bit what I was trying to do, but okay. All right. Stone. Ice. Ore and dirt. I am now getting paranoid about particles. Language spoken in Central Asia by the people of the country of Tajikistan. Okay. And neighboring countries related to the Persian dialect. Way easier for you to read because your Persian uses the Arabic Abjad while Tajik uses the Cyrillic. Oh, interesting. Plus, Russian is also commonly spoken there. That is an area of the world where I know very little about the languages. So that is fascinating. I hadn't thought about the fact that, and it makes sense now that you say it, that there would be some sort of cross pollination between Arabic and Russian just because of the proximity there. That is fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we are down to. How am I down to 20? I must have done another odd jump. Hello, Deep Dark. All right, actually. Okay. I really should clear my inventory more. I wouldn't have to stop quite as often. Alright, let's pick those up. That's ores. Any other gravel? Definitely have a hard time telling the difference between all the gray blocks when they're in my inventory. Gravel versus andesite versus stone. Okay. Cool letters too, which Russian doesn't have, so they have letters made specifically for these languages. Kazakh and another Central Asian language, but it's not related to Tajik, also uses that. You have a fascination for unknown languages, which Central Asia 100% has. Fair. Yeah, I have tended to be more exposed to European languages, but even still end up kind of getting more fascinated with the ones that are not as commonly spoken or whatever, like Welsh and Icelandic. Both of which are probably have fewer speakers than some of the Central Asian languages, but are more known because Europe. Known of, I should say. You don't find that many Welsh speakers apparently even in Wales anymore, which is a shame. It is a really cool language, and was oddly helpful in learning Icelandic, which at least I had more excuse for. My entire excuse for learning Welsh was Torchwood fandom. Icelandic, I was bringing students to Iceland for short-term study abroad, and even though everybody, for the most part, speaks English there, it seemed wise to at least learn some of the language, and I just ended up really fascinated with it, because that's how I get with languages. Okay. Where are we down to? 14? All right. Okay. Whoa. Yes, I think there has been an effort to keep Welsh from dying out. I know that's also a concern within Iceland because a lot of the kids just don't feel like there's any point to learning it, because, you know, the internet defaults to English. Which, can I just say, if we're going to pick a default language for the internet, could we maybe pick one that's a little easier? because even native speakers of English frequently have a difficult time with it because it is the most cobbled together mess of contradictory rules like ever. Yep, and we are ready to andesite, that stone. There we go. Oh, and also I got in the way of heights. There we go. Don't think I actually have any gravel or dirt. There's my other empty, so we'll start that for stone, and this must be the ores. Yep. Yeah, explaining the interesting sounds for some of these letters is challenging. Like I've learned the best way to explain the Eda versus Thora, which are the two unusual letters in Icelandic, is that Eda, the one that looks like a D with a line through it, is like the TH in that. And Thora is the one that looks like a P that's been a little stylized. And that one is a softer TH, like in this. Although, when I just said this, it actually sounded a lot harder. What was that can't have been the word I used to use. Well, thing that there. So like thing, like the word thing, is a softer TH. But yeah, it's very hard to explain pronunciation. I mean, at least I have the advantage of being able to say the words at the moment, and people can hear me saying them. But in pure text, yeah, it's really, really tough to explain pronunciation. Because even the symbols that we have that are theoretically universal for explaining how to pronounce things, not everybody knows them, and not everybody has them on their keyboard or knows how to access them. I actually don't know how to access most of those. I don't even remember the name of those symbols because words are hard and I have streamer brain at the moment. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Oh. All right, that's not that many blocks, so I'm not chasing it down there just yet, and I will get there soon. Is that just a drop, or is it a dark spot? Oh, it's a dark spot. We don't need creepers or whatever crawling out from back there, so yeah. Oh, goody. We are down to level 8, so we are starting to get deep slate. Fun. That is what makes life so interesting, is when you've got the mix. I mean, deep slate's frustrating generally, but I actually find it more frustrating when it's mixed in with stone and other things that will insta-mine. Alright, let's get these blocks out of here. There's got to be some zeros over here, so let's fix that. I know I've said this before, and we'll probably say it again ad nauseum, and I know a number of other Minecrafters have said the same, but I just really wish Mojang would give us a method for insta-mining deep slate. I don't care if it's an enchantment that cancels out some other enchantment, like you can't have both that and something, but just give us a way to insta-mine this stuff, because it is such a pain. That's the andesite, that's stone. Go. Of course, the ores are still in there. I always underestimate how long this takes, too. I get the feeling that I can do a chunk in like an hour. And then I discover, no, it is time for work, and I am half done with what I thought I was going to do. Or like today, hey, I'm an hour and a half into stream, and I'm only planning to stream for 2 hours, and I am not done with this chunk. So I thought I was going to also go do some cave lighting. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go a little longer. Because if I'm not chatting and I'm not doing anything interesting, why in the world is anybody watching? I mean, you are, and I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's here. You go away. Go. All right, we have something over here that's a 0. So that's fun. Can I tell where the 0 is? Where did you path over from? We've got a 1 over here. And I don't always 100% trust light overlay. Catch everything. I do tend to light up 1s. Might have been from further down here, which I don't actually want to go too much further down here. Even though Yada very kindly did come in and defang the shrieker that was within range. The deeper I go, the more in range of potential other ones I am. You know, I am enough of a completionist that I do want to take this the rest of the way down. Fine. The zombie was not appreciated, no. Yeah, I mean, I would even be okay with that, to be honest, at this point. Just any way to insta-mine it. For digging netherite, it actually, I mean, for digging deep slate, it does make sense to use netherite when you can, just because it eats up so much more durability. Music, you are a little intense for, you know, diggy diggy hole at the moment. You know what timer I haven't seen? Let me scroll back up. Yeah. Orca Stereo's been coming up. Titancraft one's been coming up. The Stream to Remember one has not. Let me check something real quick and hope that nothing comes and kills me in the meantime. Stream to Remember is turned on. Alright, well the command works anyway. That should be running a little more frequently, and I guess as we get closer, I should be probably coming up with some better ways to promote that. But yes, in just about a month from yesterday, essentially, even though it's the 17th, it's a Friday, so a month from yesterday. I'll be streaming for Stream to Remember, which is a fundraiser for dementia research and awareness, with a whole bunch of other folks. My time is on the 17th. The whole thing is actually 48 hours, which runs from the 15th through the 18th. It's organized by Richard Thornton, and it's connected with the Bondi to Berry Ride, which is another fundraiser for the Dementia Research Association in Australia. So even if my time doesn't work, and I know for people within my time zone, a lot of them will be at work, there are plenty of others to choose from. And that link that I just ran should get you to the schedule. Actually, no, I'm going to need to edit that timer because there should be a live after that slash to go directly to the schedule. Oh yeah, I should have done something with the mob drops. Get rid of ores. There's not much ever in ores, so let's put it in with that. Heights. Okay. And stone. Okay. Yeesh. I may want to switch over, and, you know, it's going to make storage even more complicated. To fortune. Let's not fortune the ender chest, though. Okay. But because I need the silk pick to pick up the ender chest, that means now that has to stay in my inventory. This is why I usually don't do the switch over where I'm digging, but rather up at the storage area. But, you know, why I do it the way that makes sense. And I really should just switch over to Fortune when I get into Deep Slate territory anyway. Wait, I'm using the wrong one. Hello? Because Cobbled Deep Slate is just more usable than plain Deep Slate, although depending on how exactly this is going to be set up, natural Deep Slate, plain Deep Slate, however you want to term it, may be useful. Because I'm not exactly sure, Hunter, what your plan is. For the surroundings. I've seen what you've posted, and I've paid attention to the structure, but not the surroundings. And you weren't here earlier when people were first asking what this was for. All I've said so far is that it is a project for the Fresher Club that was designed by someone other than me, and I have not gone into any, like, description or anything, because spoilers. Actually, I should have put Instamine blocks in there. Whatever. It can all burn. No burning any of it. Oh wait, the plain Deep Slate can all burn? Okay. I mean, we can also probably sell it in the Fresher shop, because we sell bulk, like, everything. Okay. We already have insane amounts. Yeah, no doubt. Well, I understand that. The wanting to set fire to the design because it's not perfect. Yep, I get that. But please don't, because it is awesome. And I'm sure whatever you end up doing to make changes to it will also be awesome. But what I've seen so far is awesome all by itself. Okay, that's the full stone one. Come back to the ites in a minute. Granite. Oof. Dirt. That was brilliant. Ores. Okay. Oof. That was a fun little visual glitch there. And now we're getting into tough too. Hopefully I can make it through these last 2 layers. Okay. And then just go dump my pockets. Or sticking dirt. That's why you have copies in your creative world to burn? Fair. And like I said, understandable. I may not be as much of an intricate designer, but as a fellow creative person, I totally get the it's not perfect, it has to go. I'm in the middle of editing a manuscript of a thing that has already been published once, might I add. But I did have another editor take a pass on it, and I'm working on editing it for publishing it as a standalone. And ites, where are you, ites? And I keep reaching that point of, okay, this is terrible, it just all needs to go, which is no. It just needs to be polished. There are just a few things that need tweaking, and I knew they needed tweaking because it had been rushed for the anthology it was put in. So it was expected that there would be things that needed fixing. That's why I hired an editor. Let's get rid of some of this tough, evening that out. More. There we go. That should free up a little space. Oh, good. More ads. Nope. And still no. All right. What ores? Give me ites. Let's throw the cobble in with the ites. All right. That should do. All right. We're down to y equals 0. Yay. Yeah, the ads cut me off mid, and I don't know Oh, and I still have the chat set to where it was for the writing stream the other day. I need to remember to put that on my restream checklist. Because that looks very silly. And I love noticing things like this, you know, toward the end of. Although, like I said, I'm probably going to keep going a little longer, but still very late in the stream to be noticing that, oh, hey, chat looks ridiculous. That's better. But now that just erased all the chat. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Whatever. No, that's regular cobble. Cobble deep slate. Regular deep slate. Okay. Okay. I should have looked in my inventory before grabbing things. That can probably be filled up. So, let's go on over here. Stone. Where is it? That is almost full. I'm going to call it good. Actually, I can make it 100% good. There we go. All right, and dirt and gravel. Andesite. That's gonna fill this up probably, isn't it? Not quite. Okay. Granite. That's gonna not quite. Okay. All right. And cobble. Okay. And ores. And mob drops. Okay. Redstone we don't have here, huh? Okay. Redstone. Let's. Gold. We actually don't have room for raw gold. We do now. Coal ore, iron ore, and copper ore. How about I get some of the stuff out of here that is less common to be found down here to make a little more room. The flint can probably all go in the fire. You do look a bit ridiculous from time to time. Not you personally, just the way the chat was set up. I wish there was an easier way to have the add chat from Stream Elements auto size when I changed scenes, but apparently not. All right, let's get the mob drops out of here. That's the easiest stuff to get rid of. We'll continue to run into duplicate and moss, although we've got so much moss here. How about I bring that upstairs? More clay that could actually go in here. Anything else? Cobble deep slate. Tough. That is the other thing, yes. I don't even remember if I had set my spawn down here, but make sure my phantom clock is reset before I head up. The rest of this we're going to continue to find more of. I don't know why we have a random iron axe. All right, having some moss carpet and at least one moss block here probably is good. Make sure there is space for them to stand. We don't run into as much of either. Okay. Now to head upstairs and put stuff away, and we can get rid of the chunk borders. Trying not to show too much in the way of spoilers, although it's a little impossible to avoid them entirely. Have I had the F7 on this whole time? I thought I had turned that back off. Oops. Okay. And I'm not going to go too far into the fresher base, but this is sort of the common area because this is where you come in. What? Oh, we have mob vote campaigning going on. Extended reach is what I preach. So somebody's team crab. We don't need faster boats. We don't need extended reach. Vote armadillo. Penguin resistance. Vote penguins. Goodies for crab voters only. Oh my goodness. Yes, we've got a lot. Armadillo supremacy. Protect our wolves. Don't be drab. Vote for crab. Only vote the penguins. All the cute penguins. Oh my goodness. I did vote armadillo because even though I have yet to tame one on this world, I do really like to have dogs around, and protecting them is a good thing, in my opinion. But I totally get that that is not everybody's priority. Sand. This is not bulk, but it's the easiest sandbox to find. Moss is over here somewhere, and green. There we go. That is not the right thing. There we go. Drip leaf probably goes in with miscellaneous plants. No, that's flowers. Plants. Leaves and vines? No. There is another one that is just like plants, not farming plants. Just plants. Right? There we go. Right there. Drip leaf. Oh, moss carpet can go in with moss blocks. Okay. So that should help that a bit. Oh, from the raid farm. Got it. That makes sense. Because you're using the raid farm to repair a lot of the community tools. I am not gonna do repairs yet because this has been a fairly repetitive stream as it is. Where's my boat? I put it in transport? Yeah. That is where it makes the most sense for it to be. It's not always the place I put it. And honestly, what's in there doesn't necessarily make sense all the time, and I need to finish filling this in. I had some random stuff in there that didn't really need to be there. So, oh, I hadn't... Alright, I don't know if this is new, but I hadn't noticed that this was actually a pumpkin face that's like winking. That's hilarious, and I love it. I still haven't done any decoration for Halloween, and I need to get on that. It's been there, so I've just been clueless. Cool! Amazing. Actually, I don't really need the boat anymore. It's just habit. And this is our amazing hallway. That's been there the whole time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, Titancraft does their nether stuff on a massive scale. And if the person, if one of the people, I should say, responsible for designing the amazing Freshers Hall wants to take credit, I will let them do so, because they are in the chat. Okay. Let's go get my daily dose of iron. Quiz is not here. This is true. But you are. I always forget I'm going to have jump boost when I come out of there. But also speed, so. Don't use the boat to open the door. Yeah. So we get 9 stacks per 24 hours. Because, of course, being Titancraft, we have an Iron Titan. So effectively 1 stack of iron blocks. But block it yourself. Which is cool. Hey, Yada. Let me run over to the shopping district. And you're hilarious, Yada. I mean, I'm sure you helped, because there was a lot of help given, but the person who's having difficulty accepting compliments was kind of the one who had in mind. Yes, excellent timing. All right. So this is our shopping district. Just kept opening and closing doors to Bug Hunter. Okay. I mean, that may have been helping if he needed the distraction, or it may have been annoying. I don't know. I will let Hunter answer that question. All right, so good. Don't have to refill anything. I'm not going to get shulker shells because I'm just the ones I get I've been just bringing to the big dig anyway, and I still have too many. So, is there anything I need to buy? Well, I suppose I could look and see if I don't think Jonah's been on, and I'm probably also not heading in the right direction. And to do better finding stuff in the air. That is over this way, right? I think. Maybe. That's prizes. That's Halloween decorations. This isn't where I thought I was going. Oh yeah, no, right over here. Restarting in 30 seconds. Right, forgot about that. Nope, has not been on. All right, let me get indoors someplace for the restart. And throw up a quick BRB screen. All right, well, it was distraction if nothing else. And I mean, legit, as much as the semester has been crushing me as a faculty member at a university, for somebody as a student, I can only imagine it's been quite a lot and not going to be able to have time to do Minecraft or, much of anything other than school. So yeah, this is a good point to stretch, hydrate, do all the things. That's one of the reasons I actually like that the server does this Q2 hour restart. It kind of enforces taking a little bit of a break. which otherwise it's very easy to lose track of time and forget to do. All right, I believe it is back up. Yep. Okay. Interesting watching the lag on my screen. I'm not entering the spawn zone. I've been here all along, but you know, whatever. Does anybody else sell? It reminds you it's time to go to bed and you'll ignore it. Yeah, fair. Because it's what, 2 a.m.? I don't know who, if anyone else, is selling netherite ingots. I would like to upgrade a couple more tools, but not enough to be bothered to go mining for netherite. I think most people have done their um, upgrading at this point, except for folks who've joined more recently. So the only folks who are really mining for it at this point are folks who sell it, but I'm not sure who that is. There was a shop with a fair bit of stock. If you happen to remember which one it is, I should probably check, you know, the Discord channel for the shopping district. That would make sense. I should take a flight through this hub after I stop for my daily dose of rockets. 3 stacks per 24 is plenty. And similar to iron and shulker shells at this point is something I pick up more for um, the ability to share it than because I specifically need it. So this is our nether hub. Was it fictional, I think, who designed it? And with the amazing cherry tree. And themed hallways and entrances to them. It's just I am mind blown every time I come through here. And ads. That's wrong. There we go. So let's head over to my base. Which at some point I should attach to the Nether Network. Sapphire's Emporium? Negative. Nope, nope, nope. Uh, there we go. Negative 1175, 255. I keep forgetting there is a directory. Wings doing they are fine. So, all right, there's the Freshers shop. So it's means it's not far. Somewhere over this general direction. Oh, and I said I was going to check the mailbox too, that I keep forgetting I have. I've gone too far as Zed was. It's like it's probably is on the other side of the bridge here. Guessing maybe it's all right. $2.55. Ah, Sapphire's Emporium. Nice and large. Okay. Let's see. Netherite ingot, 12 diamonds each. Awesome. I will take 2, thank you very much. Wonderful. Very handy putting it right on there. I had to decide whether what I might do is a couple of items, but I learned the hard way, mend them first, then do it. It is much more annoying to netherite something and then decide, okay, now I'm going to mend it up, because now you've got all the extra durability to mend up that you didn't even get to use in the first place. All right. Now, heading for positive 5,400. And positive 2,400-ish. Something like that. So I need to be going east more so than south. East southeast, not south southeast. And what time is it? It is 1:30 in the afternoon. So we are totally going to end up flying through the night, but that's fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm guessing that's the public guardian farm I just passed. From what little I saw. Um, definitely want to see that X coordinate going up faster than the Z. And that is not currently what is happening. And actually, with the stupid replay mod turned off, I can read that up there fine. I don't need the whole F3. There we go. That's better. So, time is it is not that much past noon. Hello, Sapphire. Thank you for having stock of netherite ingots. That's a sheep. Okay. Cool. Yep, it's getting late, and I am only approaching X3000. Also approaching some rather tall peaks that are taking their sweet time rendering in. That'll be one of the public wool farm locations. Ah, that makes sense. And it also makes sense that there would be a few. Watching that moon come up through the world as things render in. Might make it there before it's full night, but probably not. Still got another 1,000 blocks-ish to go. I'm going a little too high, I think. Don't really need to be at Y200 unless I'm coming up on a humongous mountain, which of course I could be, and I wouldn't know because things are, you know, rendering in slowly. I wish I had been able to keep Bobby Mod on, but Bobby Mod was conflicting with something else that I have, and was causing extremely weird lighting glitches. So I had to let it go. But since I've flown over this terrain multiple times, it would show me the giant mountains, unless anybody's built a giant mountain in the meantime, because it saves what's been rendered before. I don't know to what extent it saves it between times you load the game, because I don't know how any of this works. Okay, we should be coming up on it. I should be able to start seeing some sign of my base. Like, you know, stuff being lit up. Maybe back over this way a bit. 5,400, 2,400-ish. Now we're out of the savannah. Okay, back to savannah. Here we go. Lit up savannah with a whole bunch of 2x2 pines. Yes, or spruce, whatever. Yep, home sweet home. Get in here, take a nap to set my spawn. And what did I say I was coming here to do? Well, for starters, get rid of most of those. You don't need to be taking up inventory space. Once they wake up, I can do some trading to mend stuff, and then maybe do some cave lighting. Because I do want to have functional tools for cave lighting. Why am I getting ads on this? Hold on. Did I not set the playlist to loop? That is very possible. Which means I have no idea what's about to come on next. And I'm not crazy about that. So let's get back to the beginning of the playlist and actually set it to loop this time. Okay. So don't particularly need fortune. Need to mend both of all three of these, but mainly the picks. Okay. I guess I could be making sure I have enough to trade. How am I set for sticks and wood? Not great. Because they are going to be at max price, so... Probably should have gone to the zombie farm first, but oh well. I also should have gone back to Brushers Club after picking up supplies, but forgot that that was in my list of plans as well. Have I mentioned I have ADHD, and it becomes extremely more obvious when I'm either streaming or recording? Because, yes. And hey, maybe if I let them sleep it off, they'll have calmed down and only charge me 56 sticks per emerald instead of 64. Alright, let's take down the ones with all the leaves, because I'm not getting enough saplings here, which is not usually a problem for spruce. Or at least not to the extent it tends to be for, like, dark oak. Or birch. Birch is terrible for saplings, it seems. And I had not noticed that as much until recently. You're ever in significant need of emeralds. Oh, it's not so much the emeralds. I literally just use trading with these dudes for the mending, for the XP. Which was the whole reason I chose this location for my base, was because it had a village. And my goal was just a village that was sufficiently far away from the Freshers Club and everything in general to be able to do some dedicated quartz stuff. And then I ended up coming up with an idea for an actual base, which had never been a goal for this season. And ads. Looks like we're back. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the offer, Hunter. And one of these days, I do need to come visit your base and learn how to use the raid farm. But in the meantime, the whole reason I had chosen this as a base location was specifically to use it for villager trading and to be far enough away from everybody else to not have that be an entity problem. In the interim, many others have come up with not only the public villager trading hall, but also other areas where I could most likely trade for the quartz that's needed, including Barbie Land itself, which is where the quartz is needed. And I think they're actually in pretty good shape at the moment. So this is now just mostly a base, and I use the folks for the villagers for mending stuff. And Grimburb, hello and welcome. Raid Farm is at the Freshers Village. How have I missed this? I'm clearly just not paying attention. Because when I go to the Freshers Village to repair stuff, I am usually doing some variation of this as well. Chopping trees, turning them into sticks. Although also I will sometimes start with the triple zombie spawner and then bring over a bunch of rotten flesh for the clerics. And just trade. I have been also trading for glass, since I know your project you mentioned is going to need a lot of glass. I think you had specific colors in mind, but it all still has to start with just the basic glass, so. And it looks like there's somebody's, possibly you, set up a large area to collect glass that is traded for, that people do not immediately need. North, just a touch and you can't miss it. Big water circle for spawn proofing makes sense. In all honesty, I probably should be a little more organized with these trees, like have them set up the way we do at the Fresher Village. But somehow ended up with this more chaotic layout, which is fine. I don't know if I'm ultimately going to keep the podzol, but I do actually like often using podzol in my landscaping. So I certainly don't mind generating extra amounts of it. All right, let's catch all the little floaties all over the place. Okay. Nope. Let's get that boat out of there. Because that's just eating up inventory space it doesn't need to be. Frankly, considering the ender chest has a lot of empty spaces, I'll just free some up that way. Pretty sure that's someone else who's helping with the glass. Been pretty distracted with your own base. Ah. I can relate to the whole, hey, base is getting neglected. You can hardly tell I've done anything since claiming it. Alright. Let's... No, 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 no. Nope, that's gonna overflow if I do that. Why is your door open if you're sleeping? I realize it's Savannah, but doesn't that get chilly? Actually, what I should do is this. Rise and shine? Hello? They must get up at 6. Quiet night, George? Good job. Keep up the good work. Hey, where are you at? You're at 56. Let's see if we wait until 8 if you calm down. Not because I care about the emerald rates, but because it's just more annoying to have to blow through more sticks. Okay. I should probably check the pumpkin and melon farm too. Yeah, it's got an okay amount. I can trade with the farmers as well. Not enough to say drop everything and go do that right now, but perhaps once these guys have talked it all over and interacted with their fletching tables, since they're the only ones who can do so. Come on. All right, I know. Still a little more time before work. Hang out, chill, gossip. Got somebody else who needs a job over there, too. That should be another mason. Probably in the house across from that one. And then I think we should be set. I don't really want to... add any more to the village. All right, well, he's going in, getting ready for work. Don't you think the rest of you might want to do that too? Maybe? Huh? Just a thought? Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ew, what just happened there? Yellow. No, you're still at a full stack. You're still at 56. You're at... Okay, fine. how did you just drop like that? Okay, well, whatever. Not gonna complain. How about you? Oh, you're still at full stacks. Okay. Now looks like it's raining elsewhere in the world. All right, now let's grab some of that stuff. We'll go trade with farmers for a bit. And still need to figure out what I'm doing with that. Since that's going to end up, well, it could end up in a tree root. I don't know. Or it could end up the tree. I'm not sure. Or in the tree. You have no job. Okay. Go ahead. Level up. Thank you. Wait. How did you level up and lock out at the same time? No, you didn't. Okay, I'm confused. All right. That's as far as I'm going to get with them. Actually, I might be able to do a little more. Nope, not enough of that. Okay. It's fine. And now let's go pester the Masons. Oh, I need to shut that off. It's a recommendation that was made, but honestly, this channel is so small, and I shouldn't bother with that. It's more of an annoyance than it is worth. See, I prefer them without the nose for various reasons, so that's why I have this resource pack. So sorry it's creepy. All right. Things are fairly well mended. Probably should have focused on just the netherite. What was that sound? Actually, let's come up here. Let's get rid of that. Project box. And get the quartz. Gearbox. And get the secondary pick. Let's get the party popper back in place. And go do a little cave lighting. Actually, do I also have somewhere around here a furnace? Maybe? I have one set up in here. Might actually be in the project box. Yes. Mistakes were made. Fine. It's fine. We'll do it this way. We'll do it early game style. Why not? I want lots of charcoal. I should have saved at least a couple pieces of coal. But it's fine. Everything's fine. Well, see, that's what makes them look more human, which is a goal. All right, we don't need those planks. We can just work on exponentiating the rest of this. Okay. So that can be going while I off. Cave lighting. Why is that sitting there not getting pistoned off of there? Because there's no observer watching that vine because I'm an idiot. Oh my word. Oh good, ads are over again. Now that you're done layering your tree to at least have it sized from the creative world, you're working on paths now and not sure the layout of the base and not sure where to put the nether portal. I feel that my original reason for procrastinating on the nether portal here was the hi, where are you coming from? Was that the east tunnel was still a giant basalt delta open to everything. That is no longer true, so I should get on that, but I don't know where I want to put the portal here. Okay, I can't see where that is coming from up here. Ooh. There's not another entry point to that cave. Because I don't have any blocks. That's a slight problem. Easy enough to get some, but silly to set off. I flew entirely overworld to get here from spawn, and that's pretty much what I do. When I come out to my base, it is by overworld flight entirely. All 5,000 blocks of it, yeah. I didn't say it was a good plan. Yeah, so maybe I should be asking for directions to yours, and well, that was silly because now I need that back on my hotbar. This is not going to get me where I need to go either, but I do see stuff that needs to be lit, so I guess... Okay. Where is there anything that's flush with the water? No. Why would there be? Oh. Okay. All right. I think this is where I was before. Oh, hello, Bert. Welcome. Hi. How you doing? So, there's not a whole lot to show off here, but I can give you the grand tour if you like. Or would you like to show me to your base? Or not. It's fine if you don't want to because you're in the middle of building and may not want your build shown, and I totally get that. Pokeball, yeah, you don't mind? Okay. Sure, I'd love to see where you are. And possibly an easier way to get here while I figure myself out. Ooh, you have vanished. Okay. You're right at the edge of my entity render distance, apparently. Let me do a better job of keeping up. And now I'm passing you, which does not help with the whole fall. Oh, hey! Mangrove swamp. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Why is there a cage up in the air? I guess... Birdcage? Wired's birthday gift was a chicken named Flappy Bird. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we're gonna have two giant trees in not that far distance of each other. Assuming I ever get any of mine built. That's his bedroom. Come on, Yada. No, it ain't. Can I see what your nether tunnel looks like? I've seen a little bit of it on stream. I haven't seen it in person. Ooh, I like this, having the mangrove roots as the backdrop to your portal. Ooh, wow. All right, let me kill the light overlay because that's irrelevant in the nether pretty much. And also you've spawn-proofed the heck out of everything. I love the frogs. They are amazing. I did not see while you were building these. I saw while you were doing the pathway. But oh my goodness, I love it. That is so cool. And perfect for heading into a mangrove swamp. So yeah, what do things look like out here? Ooh. Love it. Grimberb Spiritual Forest. Nice. Love the banner too. Very cool. And all right, so you're able to go across the boundary of the that. Yes. What's the number here? This is a little. I would probably end up in one of these. I figured out the numbers before, but I don't remember what they are anymore. Uh, 5,600 divided by 8 would be 700. So I'm at 5,400, so a little less than that. 6 something. Wait, what did I see here? Half a day because it's a lot of statues. Definitely looking good. Need to get out more. Been hiding away the past few days in game. Wait, which two are also frogs? Oh, I didn't catch that. Yes. Oh, that is so cool. So that's how you made the transition from the stone and andesite ones to a color palette that's closer to the hallway. Oh, that is brilliant. There are also science crediting who helped out. As it doesn't take more than 20 blocks ish. Okay. Materials, Cuttlefish, Yodabite. Oh, very nice. Very cool. Yeah, I need to get on this. That's going down. I think I would be up this way somewhere. Like around 650. I'm going in the wrong direction. I love this hallway. I love all the hallways, let's be real. So, and I'd be on the south side. So somewhere around here-ish. There's a couple empty spots. I just need to figure out where that would line up. Get in the boat. No, I'm south. My Z coordinate's positive. So, whoa. Do you want the boat? Okay. Where'd you go? Here's the birthday chicken. So yes, I'm definitely north of you, but I'm south of the center line of the tunnel. I mean, yeah, so still south of the center line of the tunnel. So depending on where I put the portal, like if I put it there, going by where the bell is, I just at this point I feel like I want some idea where I want it to finally be, and I haven't even laid out the skeleton of what this tree is going to be, and it probably should be in either the trunk of the tree or up in the branches somewhere. And either way, I don't know where that's going to be yet. I have so much to do here, and I keep finding so many other things to do instead. But are there murder flaps on the way? I've slept 3 to 4 rockets away. That's a good unit of measure. I like it. Brain. Words. Oh, good. The stream to remember timer finally went off on its own. Thank you. I will take you up on that, Grim, because it is a long flight. And even though we do get a good supply of rockets per day, it is kind of wasteful to just be rocketing 5,000 blocks in a stretch. Yes, I just need to figure out where I'm going to put stuff, is the thing. How is it 1 o'clock already? Oh my goodness. I have a feeling cave lighting is not going to happen after all. At least not beyond what has already happened. Because it's been 3 hours. And I'm a little fried. Hey, George. George does a really good job keeping us safe here. I have not seen any kind of zombies or skellies or anything around. Why are you having a staring contest with my security guard? Grim? That is not going to end well if you accidentally hit him. And we see a wild Grimburb testing the limits of Nursing Geek security guard George. I'm so confused. That's the other thing I meant to do was grab. I have fished up a couple of name tags. I meant to grab one and use it to name him, but then forgot. You listening to Metallica over here with that head banging? I think I may head inside and call it. Um, Thank you so much, Grimberb. And thank you everybody who has been watching or lurking or chatting. Everybody who followed. I believe Cable may have just gone live, so that's probably who we're going to raid. Let me check and see if that is accurate. And let the end credits roll. The end credits are not rolling properly. It's supposed. There were 2 follows, and they're not showing in the credits. Wonderful. That'll be another thing to troubleshoot. Okay. Yes. Let's raid Cable Guy. And until next time, again, thank you all. Everybody who followed, everybody who chatted, everybody who lurked and just hung out. Let's go over and visit Cable. Really? Ads now? Okay, looks like the ad break is over. So let's go ahead and start the raid. Say hello to Cable. And thank you everybody. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you for the raid. Hey, welcome raiders. How you guys doing? Oh, there's Tech. This rain can stop at any point, you know. On game. Yep. Oh, weird naked guy. Who's that? Modest party. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing here. What in the world am I doing here? And this one's going to have to be at the top of the stairs, which is going to be a little off. Yeah, I have to keep. Well, what I do, like, I keep